afternoon. I'd like to welcome our special guest to North Fork Middle School. I'm Anne Marie Noonan, principal at North Fork. We are honored to be able to host this event in recognition of Virginia Computer Science Education Week. We are especially excited to be able to highlight a Project Guts lesson that incorporates modeling and simulation and demonstrates how Shenandoah County Public Schools encourages students to grow up thinking scientifically. Here at North Fork, we encourage our students to be curious and embrace their rebel drive. Our teachers facilitate lessons that give students opportunities to make their thinking visible. And Project Guts is one example of this. As author Ian Leslie stated in his book, Curiosity, we can spend our days thinking like everyone else, seeing the same things over and over, and never wondering about how they got that way, or why they stayed that way, or how they could be better. Or we can learn. And if we make the choice to learn and to be curious about the things around us, then we are essentially making the choice never to be bored again. I'd like to ask 7th grade models of Rebel Pride, Chloe Rucker and Haley Tharp, to come up and introduce our special guests.
We would like to introduce our special guest today. Please stand and wave as your name is called.
Mary Beth Price, Shenandoah County Administrator. Dick Neese, Vice Chairman of the Board of Supervisors, District 1. Karen Wetzel, Chairman of the School Board, District 1. Delegate Todd Gilbert represents the 15th District in the Virginia House of Delegates. Dr. Mark Johnston, Superintendent of Shenandoah County Public Schools. Gabby Ryman, Assistant Superintendent of Shenandoah County Public Schools. Dr. Glenn Hotman, who provides support for special projects related to Virginia Profile for graduates. Other school board office personnel, please stand and wave.
Joining us from Richmond today, we have Virginia Secretary of Agriculture and Forestry, Bettina Ring. Virginia Deputy Secretary of Education, Fran Bradford. Virginia Secretary of Commerce and Trade, Brian Ball.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. And thank you for having us here today. It's an honor for us to be here. And it's a particular honor for me to be able to introduce our next speaker, who will then introduce our governor. And his name is Christian Dellinger. He's one of your classmates. Christian's in the 7th grade, right? Tells me his grades are good. He's president of the FFA. And he's acknowledged by his peers and his teachers as someone with great leadership skills. And Christian, if you're ever interested in a career in public service, and we need good public servants, you're well on your way to a good start. So come on up here and
Northam was elected to be governor of Virginia in 2017, after serving as lieutenant governor and in the state senate. As a proponent of increasing careers in cybersecurity, Governor Northam is visiting schools across Virginia this week to promote computer science and education. Welcome, Governor Northam, to North Fork Middle School.
Well, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
First of all, Christian, thank you so much for your kind introduction. And, People don't realize it sometimes, but it takes a lot of courage to stand up here and stand behind the microphone. And Christian, I appreciate you doing that. And as Secretary Ball said, you are well on your way to doing great things. And, to come here to North Fork this afternoon, home of the Rebels, right? Yeah, and be welcomed by the future farmers of America. What a great thrill for us. So thank you very much for your hospitality. I'm going to talk a little bit more in just a second to the students. But first of all, I know there's some public servants in here, elected officials, and I just wanted to take the opportunity to thank you all for your service to the Commonwealth. I remind people this is not the easiest time to be elected officials, but I really believe with the challenges that we have, not only in Virginia, but in this country, that it's time for folks to step up and do good things. So we appreciate your service. The other point that I would make is that, one of the reasons I'm here today is obviously to promote computer science, but it's also to promote our economy in the Commonwealth of Virginia. And we are blessed that our economy is doing well. It's our unemployment rate now is at 2.9%. It's the lowest it's been in over 10 years. But if you go to areas of Virginia, like where I'm from on the Eastern Shore or the South Side or in the Valley or the Southwest, we still have a lot of work to do. So I appreciate all that you do to promote our economy, especially in rural Virginia. So to all of our elected officials and members of the school board, the superintendent, and your staff, thank you for all you do for Virginia. I wanted to also thank the students here today at North Fork. You all are a great group of students. You look great, and you look smart, and it just gives us a lot of hope for our future. But in order for you all to have access to a world-class education, we have to have excellent and talented teachers. And I know that you have a lot of wonderful teachers here right at North Fork. So to give thanks to our teachers, I would ask all the students to please join me in a round of applause for our teachers. Bit of fun here if we can. You all ready to have some fun? Yeah! All right, that's what I like to hear. When I travel around to talk to our students, I like to ask a question. What do you want to be when you grow up? Because there are such exciting jobs out there right now. And have you all ever heard us talk about STEM? Have you heard that you hear STEM related jobs and fields? So I had a couple of letters, if that's okay. I call it STEAM H, so science, technology, engineering, the arts, math, and healthcare, because that's what my background is in. So there are really exciting jobs out there, such as fields of cybersecurity, unmanned aerial systems, which is what we refer to as drones, biotechnology, artificial intelligence, data collection, data analysis, and the thing that brings them all together is that they all require an understanding of computers. And so we're here today to really promote Computer Science Week, and I've actually brought a proclamation, and I'll present that in just a little bit. And so Christian, get ready, because I'm gonna have you come back on the stage in just a little bit of time. So, but anyway, I wanted to tell you a little bit about my background. When I was your age, when I was in the 7th grade, I grew up over on the Eastern Shore of Virginia, a very rural area. Has anybody ever heard of Chincoteague, Misty, and the Wild Ponies? Anybody heard of that? That's where I grew up and I grew up on a small farm. We grew corn and soybeans and raised sheep and hogs and some chickens. So I know what it's all about to live in rural Virginia. And when I was your age, I wanted to fly jets in the United States Navy. And so I went to VMI. Anybody heard of VMI, which is just down the road? Yeah, in Lexington. And I was in the Navy, ROTC, and then they did a vision test to make sure I could see okay, which was a good idea. But I didn't do too well on the vision test. So they said, well, Ralph, you're not going to be flying jets. So I became a biology major. I became a scientist, and then I went to medical school, and I became a pediatric neurologist. So I take care of children your age that have neurological issues like migraine headaches, or maybe epilepsy, seizures, muscular dystrophy, cerebral palsy. Those are the types of children that I take care of. So I love children. My wife, Pam, is a K through 5 science teacher. Each year she does trout in the classroom, and I don't know if you all do that here, but you learn how to grow trout and to learn about the importance of the quality of water. So it's a great program. We have a daughter named Aubrey. She went to the University of Virginia, and she's a web developer. So she's a woman who codes. And one of the things that I'm here today is to tell you that we need more young ladies who are interested in STEM-related fields. So I see a lot of future scientists in the audience. And then our son, Wes, is a neurosurgeon. So he's down in North Carolina. So we come from a family that is really advocates. We're fans of STEM-related education. So now I'm going to ask you a couple questions. All right, so to warm up, this will be an easy question. How many of you in here today are happy to be out of the classroom for a little while? All right, so just want to make sure your arms and your ears and your eyes are working okay. How many of you want to be, and I'm going to put this in the same category, either a pilot or an astronaut when you get older? Do we have any future astronauts in here? Would you believe that right now we have a woman astronaut in space on her way to the space station? That's pretty neat. So, you can be whatever you want to be when you grow up. How many of you want to be a doctor when you grow up, or a nurse? Yeah, there's a lot of future doctors and nurses in here. Anybody in here want to be a lawyer when you grow up? Oh, okay, Brian. We have a couple lawyers. That's good. Now, how many of you want to play in the NFL when you get older? Name a team out there. What team? I'll tell you who really needs your help if you're willing is the Washington Redskins. So, if you want to play NFL, how many of you want to be farmers when you grow up? Yeah, everybody on this front row. Let me tell you what's really neat. We were just in Danville, which is not too far from here, but we were talking to future farmers and talking about the importance of technology and some of the, we rode in a Gator that's made by John Deere. It's you can use it without even driving it. It's driverless, so I sat in it and didn't even have to hold on to the steering wheel. But they're using science. They're using drones now for farmers to monitor fields, to see how the plants are growing, to see if they need more fertilizer, see if they need more water. So you wouldn't think about it, and we didn't use that kind of technology when I grew up on the farm, but technology, computer science is very, very important to our future farmers. So the last question I want to ask you, and I hope you will make me feel welcome here, but how many of you in here want to, when you grow up, be the governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia? Yeah, a couple young ladies. This is good, Bettina and Fran. So anyway, you know what? The message I want to bring you today is that you can be whatever you want to be when you grow up. The sky is the limit, as we say, and I would just encourage all of you to continue to work hard in school, to learn all that you can, to listen to your teachers, and most importantly, listen to your parents. They will lead you in the right direction. And so I applaud you. I appreciate you welcoming us to North Fork Elementary, and we hope to come back and see you. In the meantime, if you all get a chance, maybe to ever come up to Richmond, we would love to have you come and visit. So we appreciate that. And finally, I have a Christian, if you could come on back up here with me. So Christian, what this is it's a certificate of recognition and what we call a proclamation that we write and then I sign as the governor of the Commonwealth. And what this does, it declares this week that we're living in right now, December the 3rd to December the 9th, as Computer Science Education Week. So congratulations on receiving the proclamation. I'm going to put this in good hands with you, Christian, but thanks so much for having us at North Fork today, and our best to all of you. And finally, if I don't get a chance to tell you, I hope that all of you have a safe and peaceful holiday season. Thank you very much. Thank you.